And welcome to Calling Them Out, episode number 14. Tonight we got our analyst and expert in high school, college, pro, and NCAA, baseball, wrestling, and horse racing, Tommy Ofero. And our producer tonight will be Matt Jagger, that is not having a good day today. So it's just like, not ready. I'm sorry that we're being very late. We had some technical difficulties
Someone's stomach was bothering them
today.
so
So it's
little hungry over there.
I told him not pizza before the episode, but whatever. Hey, one more episode. We're gonna finish up with the 15. Thank you for being with us. These 14 first episodes. Everything changed a lot. There was just basically we did 7 episodes in 11 days. And basically all of them were just to test equipment. Now that we have everything, we're
still testing equipment.
Yeah, Judge Shirley is bringing tomorrow the new lights. And we're going to add the Mac Pro. So we're going to add more information for you guys for everything. But how was your weekend, Tommy?
Quiet and uneventful. Played some golf yesterday. Had practice and was out on the field Saturday. So quiet birthday, quiet Easter. Best way to live, honestly.
Awesome. What about you, Matt?
I worked on this.
So that's good.
How much did you get paid? Did you get paid overtime?
Yes.
Hey, there were some tournaments during the weekend. Joe Cannon, Mount St. Joe, and the sports event. So we're gonna be talking now. And now on the line, we are with Aiden West. Aiden, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Can you talk to? We don't have a lot of information to what going on Joe Cannon during this past weekend. I know that your team, Long Ridge, was playing there. I know that Sherwood won that tournament, right? Can you talk to us about that a little bit?
Yeah, it was the Exposure Sports Spring Break Showdown. All the games got canceled the day before, so we ended up playing at Joe Cannon twice on Tuesday or Wednesday. We played Sherwood, pretty solid team. I think we lost 6-3, late inning scores. Then right after that, we played Patterson Mill. I think we won like 11-1 or something. Our bats were hot that game, so it was a pretty cool event by Exposure Sports.
Yeah, I know that Kyle's doing a really good event, and I don't understand why they don't have a winner there, but it's just basically a tournament without trophies again, and without any type of, I don't know, just trophy. Do you want to see trophies? Do you want to see a championship? Do you like the format of the tournament, Aiden?
Yeah, I think everyone played 2 games. When I first heard of it, I thought it was going to be like a tournament, or at least maybe next year. He has a lot of teams interested in doing it, so I think maybe next year you should do like 2 brackets and just have 2 different winners with actual trophies and a championship game and everything.
You got one more year. Would you like to be that exposure tournament more like competitive? On
Yeah, for sure.
All right, perfect. Yeah. So you're having this year something that Jackson Meta went in 2021. That a lot of people they don't want to pitch to you. So how's been going that, and how many intentional walks you got this week?
In those 2 games alone, I had 4, 2 in each game. So I'm just taking what they give me. I'm not really seeing a lot of fastballs. There's some guys who think they could get a fastball by me and will compete with me for it, which I love. I love that. It's not really the players at all. It's usually the other team's coaches that, know who I am and game plan before to intentionally walking to get to the batter behind me.
That's really good. What can you tell us about that Long Ridge team?
I think we have the best lineup in the whole county. I think our lineup is something to be afraid of. We have 2 really good pitchers that, hold up our defensive side, and I think we're all, it's a lot of our 3rd year at least here on varsity starting. So I think we have a lot of depth in our offense.
Yeah, that's great. I think that Long Ridge had a really good team, really solid team. And, what I'm not seeing around baseball this year is a lot of balanced teams, and I think that you guys are really balanced this year. But to win it all, you have to go against really good teams, and that game against Sherwood will tell you what kind of competition you guys will gonna face if you want to win states. In your confidence,
sure.
who's the best team right now that you think is the best
I
team?
think I think especially in 3A, Savannah Park is definitely the best team right now. Obviously Angel is over there.
Yep.
Sean Williams, Charlie. I mean, all those guys. They have depth on both sides, which I think a lot of teams don't have at all. With the pitching and the hitters, I think that they're all around the most balanced and best team on both sides of the plate.
Awesome. Well, Aiden, thank you for being with us and here and calling them out. I'd love to see you soon, so I'll talk to you later, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take care, man. All right. So, do you agree with him
About what?
about the Savannah Park being the most complete team in that 3A?
In 3A, I think they're up there. I mean, Decatur's solid. Sherwood's always pretty solid. 3A is really deep this year because of the whole county redistricting and everything. But yeah, I mean, Savannah Park, it seems like, has a good balance. You've got Sean and Murphy for your two guys on the bump, especially when you get into playoffs. If you've got two starters, it's really going to help carry you. And they've got some other pitching depth too. The big thing's going to be, how does their lineup hit? I mean, yeah, your pitchers have to throw strikes, but then you also got to be able to put up some runs. And they've got some good bats like Angel. Charlie Hartman's another good one. You got Benji Baszler in the middle of the lineup. Cody Phillips is their catcher.
Cody Phillips is just on fire.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, last year he got like 6 to 8 homers, and this year he started really, really hot again. I mean, it's a pleasure to work with that guy, and the things that he's doing. Angel came from an injury, then he got sick, so he's up to a really slow start. But you guys are playing them tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we play them tomorrow.
Where?
Joe Cannon, 7 o'clock.
Joe Cannon. So everybody, Savannah Park and Spalding, they're playing tomorrow. John Carroll played today. They beat Gilman.
Yeah.
6-5. Finally, they got a win on a Monday. So
There's only been 2 Mondays in league play so far. So
well, they haven't won any.
Yeah.
So that's good. Any other results from the weekend?
Weekend, I think you said Goretti won the MSJ tournament, the Jack Conley tournament. Goretti's final time being in that. They looks like they looked pretty solid this weekend. With the exposure tournament going on, a lot of teams.
Well, there's exposure scrimmage games, right? Don't call that a tournament. A tournament is something
Fine,
competitive.
the exposure spring showdown.
Yeah,
the
the spring showdown. Scrimmage games. Yeah.
Since a lot of teams are wanting to do that now, a lot of teams don't have to do Easter tournaments. They can get the weekend off. So Savannah Park used to always have a tournament that they didn't do. I think John Carroll and Bel Air did one up there that they got some games in, but it's like Broadneck used to do a tournament. I think Old Mill used to play in that tournament. That doesn't happen anymore. Yeah. There used to be someone down in Southern County in the SMAC conference. I think that would have one. The Easter tournaments are just starting to go by the wayside because everyone wants to do Kyle's thing, and rightfully so. You get a couple games on turf fields during the week. You get your weekend off. You can come back practice today, and then you get ready for a couple games this week because everyone's back in school for public schools. Scheduling-wise, it makes sense. Yeah,
Mount St. Joe did their tournament, and then Goretti won that one. It was San Michael's, Riken also, and then Mount St. Joe, and Goretti, Parker, and Sweeney was the MVP. On that one, he got a couple homers, and then he got a play on the final game, on the last out of the game, where he hosed the runner just to win the championship. So that was good to see. Parker Sweeney is having a huge year and a huge following by scouts. So a lot of interest on Parker Sweeney. So we wish him the best. Now we're going to the guy who beat Savannah Park.
Yeah. How do you pronounce his name, Juan?
He was
calling him out.
Logan Hastings. What is his last name?
Hastings.
Oh, Logan Hastings. Hey, Logan, how you doing today? We are here in calling them out. You're live.
Hello, Coach.
Hey, if
Hey,
you're
how
watching
are
us
you?
live, you need to turn the sound down.
Yeah, if you're watching us live right now, just turn the sound or volume off because you can hear us from here right now. So Logan,
Okay, yeah. I don't
Logan,
have
I
that.
know that you beat the number 7 team in the state right now, including private and public school, and you got a really good outing. I remember you when you were with Rollins. The last time that I saw you, you were like throwing like 72, 74 miles per hour, but really good changeup, really good curveball. You know, where you at? What are you throwing now? Because when I saw the videos, you were throwing some heat.
Yeah. So I've been, sitting around 88 to
Oh
91.
wow.
I've had confirmed 92s. But after getting on dirt mound, I feel like I might have a little more, but 92 confirmed.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome because the last time the last time that I saw you, that I remember you when you were with Rollins, I always like you because you threw a lot of strikes. You command on the strike zone was great. You were just lacking on Bilo. Do you think that not having that Bilo result on your late commitment to Maryland? And by the way, congratulations on that.
Thank you. I mean, in a way, yes. My late commitment, I would think mostly I missed all of this past summer and
Hmm.
fall. I was out with injury. So I think that was probably the biggest part in the late commitment. But yeah, once I started ramping back up, I was pretty hard stuck at a wall of 88. Kind of plateaued there for a long time, and went up to see Coach TJ Hose, and he worked some
The,
magic. He
the
worked on some
the
stuff, and
magician with the radar gun with the fixed radar gun.
No, stop.
yeah, and
Everybody throws 92 on that radar
He's
gun.
saying the gun's juiced. It's not juiced.
hey, well, I hit 92 in front of Maryland the next week, so I
Yeah,
think we're
well,
good.
Logan,
with
you've
TJ's,
always been a stud, buddy.
with TJ's gone,
With
Jimmy's
yes,
gun.
with
with
Coach
Jimmy's.
Jackson.
Okay, yeah, that is confirmed. I mean, I'm not saying anything about TJ Hose.
No, you literally just said something
No,
about
I'm
TJ
just
right
I'm
there.
just messing, guys. This is a joke. It's a joke. I love TJ. I'm not messing with TJ, whatever. But all the pitchers from TJ throw either 92 or 93. So that's something weird there. So, Logan, he's told me that he wants to ask you some questions.
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Hi, how are you? I'm good.
So you're outing against Severna Park. You get to start, big game, 3 innings pitched, 5 Ks. What was working? What wasn't?
I mean, honestly, kind of everything was working. That today was, or on Saturday against Fern Park, that was kind of the first time I'd had everything going for me. Fastball had life on it. Breaker, I was throwing it for strikes. I even flipped a couple of changeups in, which not exactly for swings and misses, but kind of just played the fastball up a lot more if they got something else going on in the back of their head. But just through strikes was the biggest thing. I mean, 90 plus is great, but when guys know it's coming, it can still get hit. But when you're throwing strikes with all your pitches and they don't know what's coming, it really, really plays up. So I think honestly, just throwing strikes was the biggest thing.
Gotcha. What do you think you really learned kind of going from the preseason last year where everything was going really well? Like you said, your velo was ticking up.
Mm-hmm.
You PR'd. I saw you way back in a February showcase. You were 87. Threw a ridiculous breaker that was like 2,600 RPMs. And everyone's like, yo, you got a hammer. This guy's going to be able to be basically a force to be reckoned with, not just for his junior, but then going into your senior year as well. And then, like you said, you got the injury. Now you're coming back. You're fighting. You're not committed. Like, what was kind of going through your mind to start the season and not only to lead a pitching staff to try to win a state championship, but also to kind of meet your own goals of playing in college and being the ace of a staff?
Yeah, last year was a rough one. Like initially it hurt my elbow in our preseason tournament in Myrtle Beach. I wasn't being very smart. I threw 100 pitches between 2 days for my first outing. Just was not smart. And then I never really let it recover. I was pushing it a little too much. So yeah, I mean, the end of the season, I threw our first playoff game, and I threw well. I think it was 6 innings. I had double-digit strikeouts,
Mm-hmm.
and got the win. My teammate walked it off for us. I mean, it was a great win. But after that, I mean, I could barely move my arm above my shoulder. And like the hardest part, I think, was I realized I was like, my goal is to play in college. You know, we were good enough as a team. We had guys that could throw. I didn't need to destroy myself on there, and we made a great run. But just having to sit on the sidelines and be a DH there, that was tough. And then even going into the summer, I was trying to save my arm. I got cortisone shots, I got lidocaine shots just to try and numb it, see if I could limp through the season. But my first tournament, I threw like 2 innings. I was 84, maybe hit 85. And I just decided it's not worth it. I'm not doing myself any good. Nobody's going to be recruiting a kid that can't throw strikes and throwing 84 miles an hour. So I, kind of had to bite the bullet. I got a PRP injection and missed all summer and fall. But doing that allowed me, I got my body right. I, was in the gym a lot. I was working with Tread Athletics on their lifting program. I was eating right. I was gaining weight. I was trying to do everything I could without throwing so that when I started throwing again, I would just hopefully pick it back up. Definitely overestimated how quick I was going to get back though. Like I said, I hit 88 my first max intent pen again from injury, and I sat there for about 4 months. And I had the breaker, I had everything. All I needed was the velo really, and that eventually came around. I knew I had it somewhere. I gained weight, I gained strength, was doing all this stuff. I knew I had it, and then finally figured it out with Coach Hose. So I mean, it was last year was a long year and a rough year, but I think that just made me kind of end up what I am today, and hopefully what I can be the rest of this year in college.
No, I think a lot of what you said is awesome stuff. I think the other thing that you touched on, yeah, you overdid it a little bit junior year, and you had to take the step back, and you thought about everything, and it seems like you got a much more focused plan this year, where you said you're doing your lifting with Tread, you're doing pens with TJ, getting some more work in that's maybe a little bit more specific. It seems like you're more on plan and more on schedule, and now you're starting to reap the benefits. Talk to us a little bit. What kind of adjustments were you making with TJ? Because I know, like you said, it was a recent little push through that you got above that 88 ceiling, and now you're 91, 92 ceiling, and that's a big adjustment. That's a big difference in being the guy that's 85 to 88 to now being 88 to 92.
Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna sound kind of crazy, but the only thing I did was on my back foot on the rubber, I just kind of turned my toe in, so my toe is currently internally rotated, and it's just preset there.
Mm-hmm.
And just that's honestly that's all I did.
That's because usually you were open your hip, and then you want to just to keep your back hip blocked, so it can turn better, and you don't over rotate, so you will gain more velo. You will get also better, shoulder to hip separation. Activate better your scapula. So yeah, that will fix a lot of things. To get it where you want it, and if that adjustment works for you, that's amazing, right? Because those are the 2-3 miles per hour that you were needed to get committed. Were you scared? Were you worried that you were not going to receive any offer from for a D1 being a 2024 and being this late? Because usually 2024 don't get called or they'll get pulled, the way that you did this late. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was, and not even not having a D. I didn't have an offer.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought about my college and everything, and I kind of made up my mind, not necessarily the D1 or bust mindset, but I was, I knew what I had, but also I knew what kind of like college experience I wanted.
Yep.
So I was kind of in the sense where I was like, I don't want to go somewhere that I wouldn't want to be outside of baseball. If baseball was out of the equation, it's like, would I still be happy at a school? And so that kind of narrowed it down to I wanted to be at a bigger school, which I knew also then meant that playing baseball there was going to be a lot harder. And so there was, a lot of times where I would go to throw a pen. I'm thinking today will be the day that I'm, finally going to break 88. I'm going to get the looks. Then I wouldn't. And then I'd go back home and like, am I really, how long am I going to do this? How long are coaches going to keep their recruitment open kind of thing? So, definitely set in a lot in the winter after kind of the fall ended and I still wasn't back. But also with the transfer portal, I kind of knew that there was going to be some sort of flexibility, which is actually Maryland's using a transfer portal spot for me, I believe. They didn't have any high school spots left, like just with being so late. But yeah, there's definitely some panic setting in. Like I know I had to trust the process and all this stuff, but also I was reaching out to coaches that help with recruiting, and a lot of them were saying like, "Hey, I mean, your best bet would maybe take a gap year, reclass, or go JUCO." And that wasn't really in my cards. I was like, that's not really something I can do. And even with the few phone calls I'd gotten with other schools, I had my coaches calling me and say, "Hey, like, you should go buy a lottery ticket. This stuff doesn't happen. Like, the fact you're even getting a phone call is kind of crazy." But my dad told me he's, if you have this stuff, you'll find a place. It's just, he knew I had it. I knew I had it. Just, I had to show everybody else that I had it. And, that finally happened.
Yeah, that's a really good story, Logan. We're talking to Logan Hastings, a late commit to Maryland. This is a great story for all the 2024s that they're out there, and for all these college recruiting that I'm gonna call out. I mean, there's never too late. Whatever. But 88 was pretty good for a D2, D3, or any JUCO right now, especially with the command that you have, because you throw a lot of strikes. You throw your changeup is for a strike, your curveball is for a strike. You spin the put me over, take me over. Curveball is really really good. Also, plus your fastball have been really live. 88 is not a bad miles per hour for a guy playing JUCO, even Division One right now. Why not JUCO, and why trying to go D1?
I mean, that was probably more just me being a little stubborn, but I kind of just figured once I graduate high school, like my family thing was like, after you graduate, you're going to a 4-year. If you can play baseball there, that's great. But, you're going to a 4-year school and you're going to get your education. They weren't wanting to plan education around baseball. They're planning baseball around education.
Oh, that's huge.
Smart people.
That's huge. I mean, your family, had to say that they're on the right path. That's a really good thing to say to you, and to clear your mind and to keep you focused on what they wanted for you, and what you need to have for yourself. I wish more families they have the balls to do that, and to get it going the way that your family did for you, man. So congratulations on everything. Tommy, you got anything else for Logan?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I was just kind of wondering is like, especially where this kind of happens all late, happens really fast. A lot of people kind of think that the recruiting process can be super long and drawn out, and then they don't realize it can happen really quick, like what you did. So, like, how's the relationship with the coaching staff? How have you gotten to know Coach Jackson, Coach Swope, and the other assistant coaches there in your brief time? Because obviously you got some ground to make up, just getting to know everyone and getting a feel for the staff and the roster compared to the rest of the class.
Don't forget Tommy, also there.
Yeah, Tommy Gardner and Johnny Poss and Nick Robinson.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was really, I hadn't talked to Maryland at all, like throughout my high school or anything. And I think it was the night after I hit 92 with Coach Hose that I'm talking to my high school. I'm sending the video everywhere, just everybody, and like, somebody look at this, somebody see me, please, make me an offer. And that night, my Coach Smith texted me, is, "Hey, would Maryland make the short list of schools?" And I'm sitting here, he's asking if a Power 5 Division I school would be on my, if I would be willing to go there, when I'm like, I'm an uncommitted senior, in February.
That's a pretty
I'm
awesome
like,
story,
Yeah,
actually.
it's awesome. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
really
and
good.
so,
I didn't know what a Power Five school was until like 2 weeks ago. So I thought that they were the best five teams in the nation. So yeah. So thank you for reminding me what a Power school is. A Power Five school is.
Yeah.
So.
So then, he says, hey, I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow. We can figure out a time to get on the phone. So I called him in school the next day. I had a free period, super nice. That worked out great. And he's like, hey, I saw this stuff. I've seen your spin. It's like everything. I mean, honestly, everything looks good. But he says I'm not gonna over recruit a guy. And like he's like, I got to see you first. But he said, let's do this. He wanted to get me out to campus. So I think like 2 days after my phone call, I went out for a visit. Within 5 minutes, I was already sold. And I was like, it was awesome. It was everything I'd ever wanted. And then we do the whole tour and meet some of the coaches. And then he had us on field for essentially the entire warm up to the game. And I was with Coach Jackson. I was with Director of Operations, Phil DeBase. And then, Coach Swope came up and was talking to me and my dad, Coach Poss, just like, we'd all known each other it's super friendly.
Yeah.
The best that you could ask for. And after that point I was sold, and it was just, they're going to come out and see me throw against Old Mill the next week and, see if they could take me. And then that game I was 88. I didn't throw a fastball under 88. I don't believe. Top 92. And Breaker was at 3,000 RPMs. And he was, he was
huge.
super. But it did scare me though, because I did not throw that many strikes that game. I was a little worried, but I guess he knew I'd hone it in. That was like my first real start in a game. But it was basically 2 weeks from talking to him, I was committed. It really wasn't long, but maybe that was because I was already so late. Like, why were we wasting time? Maybe.
No, like you said, you felt really confident. You get to go rep your state. You fell in love with it right away. It's like, why am I going to wait around and think about things? This is where I want to be. Let's get the job done. Kind of just coming.
Yeah, it was. I just sorry, but on the phone call when after my start, he was talking about the game, and I could kind of tell that he was going to offer me, and then he did, and he was, hey. So talk to your parents, and I told him, I was like, nope, I don't need to. We are.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah.
He hadn't even gotten the words out yet, and I was like, yep, I'm committed. I'm good. I got it. I don't need it.
This is a great story. Hey, Logan, thank you for being with us, calling them out. This is the Spotlight Player of the Week, Logan Hastings. We're really proud of you, man. I haven't seen you in years, but I'm seeing the videos and seeing you. I know what kind of pitcher you are. I know that Maryland has a really good guy that is gonna help them a lot.
They got a hammer of a curveball, buddy.
Yeah, man, that pitch is just amazing. But the changeup is amazing. When you throw a changeup, the sequence, the changeup. Because
I've seen him pitch. I've never seen him. No, strikes. He's always had really good command.
The changeup, when he throws the changeup, especially for the first pitch to set up. And then he goes with that fastball and finish up with that curveball. That's amazing, because when he misses that curveball, they come against with that changeup. You start with that changeup, you finish with that changeup. I think that's the best sequence that I've seen you throwing. That's pretty good. So, congratulations, man. We are really happy for you. We're really proud of you. So our microphones are always open for you. So you're always welcome to come here to talk to us, and we're gonna be following you. So this is not gonna be the last call. All right, so thank you, Logan, for being with us.
Awesome. Thank you very much for having me on.
Okay, take care, man. So that was Logan Hastings. Really?
Hastings.
There's
really?
an A, not an O.
Okay, Logan Hastings.
Closer.
Drew Elmrick.
Say Smithsonian.
Smithsonian.
I love that he develops a lisp there.
Yeah, come on,
He
man.
told me, I only bring it up. Hey, hold on. I only bring it up because at lunch the other day, I said, are there any English words you really have a problem? He said, anything with SM in it.
Yeah, Smith. That's Smith. So that's pretty good. So right now we're going with Josh Hammond Memorial that they have in the game on Friday. So we're gonna have Right now, Jennifer Hammond is gonna be with us on the call, and we're gonna be.
Hello.
Hey, Jennifer, this is Juan with calling them out. How you doing tonight?
Good. How are you, Juan?
So we got Jennifer on the phone right now here and calling them out. I know that Jennifer, I know that you guys have next Friday. You guys got the annual game for the Josh Hammond Memorial. So can you talk to us about that?
Absolutely. This will be our 7th year having the Hamer game at the Ironbirds Stadium. This year we added Bel Air playing C. Milton Wright before John Carroll plays St. Paul's.
Okay.
Tickets are $5, and the link to buy them is johncarroll.org/Hamer game. All the proceeds from this event go directly to the Joshua Hamer Memorial Scholarship Fund. And, it was a blessing. 7 weeks after Josh passed away was the very first Hamer game ever hosted. Actually, Josh's birthday is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the game is always right around his birthday, which, makes it a little special. But we have quite a few Hamer scholars that will be playing in the game as well. So that's always fun. And it's a fun night. Might be a little chilly Friday, but it won't be rain. But we usually end up with about 1,000 people that attend, and it ends up being a great night. There will be concessions open for everyone to be able to buy food, and I believe that they even will be serving beer.
I'm there.
Nice.
Absolutely.
They're serving beers, and I'm gonna go there. Yeah, that's gonna be Friday. Happy hour.
It is
Josh
Friday.
Hammer
Yep.
and John Carroll versus St. Paul's. Hey, that's a win-win situation. So
We've been able to help 21 students go to school in 7 years, so we've been really blessed.
that's awesome. I know that I was friends with Colin also, so I know you had two tough losses recently in the year. So I'm really sorry for you for that. But I seen you battling and trying to do the best out of the situation and helping, everybody getting to the next level and getting a really good, kids that maybe cannot afford a private school. You're helping them to get the dream to go to school like John Carroll, and our microphones always will be open for you, to help you reach that goal. So what other
Well,
activity?
Juan, that is a blessing. I will let you know real quick that, Josh went to John Carroll almost on a full scholarship.
Mhm.
I'm a single mom, so there was no way I could afford it. And when Josh passed away on his way to John Carroll, in 4 days, they raised $37,000 to help me bury my son.
Oh wow.
So above and beyond what they paid for his funeral, we
Mhm.
took that and started the memorial. And in 7 years, we've raised $350,000.
Oh wow, that's great. I mean, I didn't know that the complete story of that, and that's really good that you're telling people right now. What it's for and what John Carroll have done. For you.
It's a financial
yeah.
need scholarship for 8th grade boys that would like to attend John Carroll and play baseball.
That's awesome. I wish more schools, have the just the commitment to help other kids from public schools to get to schools. But you're doing a really good job. Are there any other activities that you're doing to raise money? Because I know I saw online that you got a bingo and you got all the stuff coming on.
So I will let you know, last year I started a sister nonprofit in memory of Josh, where we help seniors in high school attend college. So the bingo that is April 26th is actually sold out, but it is for the sister nonprofit. And so last year, in our first year, we were able to give 4 scholarships out to 4 seniors. And this year we're hoping to be able to double that. So,
Oh wow.
I always wanted to have my son go to college, and I feel like this is a blessing watching children be able to attend and reach for their dreams, even though my little boy couldn't anymore.
Wow, this is a great story. Hey, thank you for being with us here and calling them out. I just wanted to promote the event for next Friday. I know that you were doing other activities, so anything that we can do to help you, always let us know about your activities, so we can give you a hand here, just to give you a little bit of more promotion here in Maryland, so people know what you're doing. Probably people that you
Juan,
don't.
I really appreciate it.
So thank you for being with us, and have a good night. All right, take care, Jenny.
You too.
Okay, bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
So that was Jennifer. That Amon, that she's getting the bingo on the 26th, and then this Friday, John Carroll will play on St. Paul. So good luck to all the teams that they're gonna be there on next Friday. Tommy, what's going on with college baseball?
Maryland ended up losing 2 out of 3 against Michigan this weekend.
That was a. Were you surprised with that?
Little bit.
With that score, because
Little
they won the first one really easy, and then I don't know, maybe the house crumbled there Saturday and Sunday, and they were just, they beat them. I mean, it was a solid win from Michigan over Maryland right now. So
Yeah, I mean, Michigan's got a good two-way guy that they've got coming out on Sundays. And so they don't throw him on Fridays. They throw him on Sundays, so that way he's available in the lineup and everything earlier in the week. So, coming back and facing a good two-way like Florida has with Callin'Em and other programs that are bringing a good arm back on Sunday like that, that's not maybe a traditional 3. That's never easy. I know Maryland had some sickness going on, and they're trying to figure some things out with the rotation and everything right now.
Rich Bailey just said he's going to donate $1,000 to the Josh Hammer Fund.
awesome. That's great.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah, good job, Richard. East Carolina had a good sweep against UAB. Wake Forest is dropping out of the top 25 in a couple publications. UNC's now up to number 1 in the ACC, or tied with it. Florida State was unranked, and they all of a sudden they pop into the top 25, and then they go and get swept against Clemson. And so they're starting to show a little bit of warts, but it's again, it's early. Now we're just going into April. You just got to find a way to keep building up and get ready for your conference
Do you
tournaments.
think that is early, and we got already like 27, 30 games in?
It's the beginning of conference play, though.
So
So
so it's the teams already have like Arkansas is 23 and 3.
It's early. 'Cause
Clemson 24 and 3. Texas A&M. By the way, these are the power rankings right now: Arkansas, Clemson, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Oregon State. My guys. All right. The Beavers, not the other ones.
Not the Ducks. The
Not
Beavers.
the Ducks, the Beavers. So don't be confusing now, because a lot of people are I say Oregon University, Oregon State are the same. No, they're not. All right, Beavers. We're what is it? Ashley? Adley Rushman?
Adley Rutschman.
Adley Rushman.
He's from Oregon State.
We have the same coach.
Yeah.
We got the same coach, Pat Casey.
Yeah.
So he was crazy.
Yeah.
So we need to call Pat. So if somebody has Pat Casey's number, just let me know. And then after Oregon State, from the 6 to 10, we got Florida, Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of they start really rough the season, and then they have won like 15 in a row. So that's pretty good. Dallas Baptist, Duke, North Carolina. But there is one team that is NC State that is ranked, but then they're like 18 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
They have lost basically a lot of games.
Yeah.
What the ranks have to do with win and losses?
I mean, it's all over the place. It's that old adage of, is it better and do you get ranked on how you're doing against the guys you're playing, or do you also take strength of schedule into account? And that was the argument of Florida State. Florida State wasn't ranked until last week, and they were undefeated. And then all of a sudden, as soon as they get ranked, they get swept by Clemson.
I mean, it's just UCF, Wake Forest 17 and 10, UCF 18 and 7. They're
Look at LSU.
Rank-
LSU's got a losing record in the SEC right now, and they're still in.
but LSU is just
you got a losing record in your own
know.
conference, and you're going to be in.
Yeah.
I mean,
LSU is a lot of money that they bring to the NCAA. So
Yeah.
For me, Gambriels will be always, on my grandkids on the top five. So.
I'll say this: if you have preseason bets on LSU, you should be a little worried right now. Ole Miss, they win their national championship next year. They don't make the NCAA tournament. Mississippi State won the tournament back in 2021. Following year, last 2 years actually, haven't been in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
That's not a good trend where all of a sudden the previous two national champs haven't even made the NCAA tournament next year.
Not a lot of the Northeast schools are ranking right now. There is a reason? It's too cold? Do you think that they're late bloomers? Or what the Northeast baseball needs to do to get to that level that the Southern schools are having right now?
A lot of the Northeast... A lot of the Northeast schools that are smaller, more higher academic schools.
I mean, last year Maryland was there.
Yeah, Maryland was up there. They had a really good start to the season and everything last year. And everyone knew they were going to take maybe a little bit of a step back in the first year, but they still already have almost 20 wins. And it's not even, like I said, it's literally April 1st today. They still have another 6 weeks and then conference tournament to keep making up ground to get to 40 wins. So, I mean, you're at the halfway point and you're almost to 20. That's where you want to be. But, yeah, the problem with the Northeast schools, a lot of them are smaller institutions, higher academic, not big football programs that have a ton of money. When you look at the SEC, and baseball's not a massive revenue-generating sport, you then have to have football money and basketball money to help offset some of the baseball costs. And it's not just baseball cost for funding the team, it's then also travel, it's then also NIL, it's all these other things. Yeah, LSU, they're not shying away from it. They've got a ton of NIL money. Their head coach even says in a press conference afterwards, hey, if you want NIL money, come here. We got you covered.
Yeah, we got you covered. Yeah,
Yeah,
you want to make some money, don't turn pro.
Yeah.
We want you here to be with us. Yeah.
Wake's got the same thing going on, and they've got a tremendous facility for their pitching lab. You got other good SEC schools like Florida, Alabama, again, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. I mean, they're, even though they didn't make the NCAA tournament, they're still really good programs. They've got a lot of access and a lot of things available. Kentucky's continuing to get better and better. Tennessee's really solid. And so
Duke start really hot, and then
the ACC
now it's dropping. Yeah,
honestly, the ACC might even be the best conference, not even the SEC this year, because you've got Duke, you've got Clemson, you've got UNC, you've got Virginia, you've got Miami, you've got Florida State, who's really high up there right now. Like you said, you got NC State, who's holding their own. I mean, when you look at the ACC, Boston College isn't necessarily anything special this year, or some other smaller schools, but it's a very deep conference, just as much as the SEC. And
you got 7 teams in the top 20 for the ACC this year, so I think there's no doubt that the ACC is the best conference for baseball this year. So over the SEC, right now we got the SEC. What Arkansas, North Carolina, Arkansas, and
Texas
then you got
A&M.
They got Georgia, Texas A&M, South Carolina, and then Kentucky, Tennessee, almost all the SEC are in the top 20 also.
Yeah.
So
the Big 12 and the Big 10 are not having good years, and the Pac-12 is slowly dissolving.
That's no more. So,
I was going to say, this year's the last year, and Oregon State's holding their own, but it's slowly kind of whittling down, and that's mostly going to join the SEC and the Big 10 and the Big 12. It's college baseball looks weird now, and it's going to look even weirder next year.
Yeah, top 5 schools right now for Maryland high school for you, public and private. What would be your top 5, not including Spalding? I don't want to put you in that spot.
I think there are a lot of teams that still need to show what they.
Tommy, top 5, calling them out. Top 5. Just give me top 5. Don't give me a Disney answer. This is calling them out. What are your top 5?
I'm being honest. I don't know how you can tell which one's the top team right now.
Oh, I can tell you. Calvert Hall, DeMatha.
Calvert Hall just lost to DeMatha, even though they beat
I know,
Georgetown
but Calvert Hall is beating. I think that they have a tougher schedule than DeMatha has, but DeMatha has proved that they're the number 2 right now. They're basically beating everybody. Right now, they beat actually Calvert Hall. Oh no, Calvert Hall went with a rookie, right? Showa, You know that he actually Raidersoa was amazing on that game.
Yeah.
That we're seeing another twin for Parker Thomas. There, right? So I mean, he looks dominant. He looks like he belongs. He looks like he can turn around the season for Carvajal right now. So I think the Carvajal, the Mata will be there. Spalding, of course, number one is St. John's over everybody. I don't care what people say, but they're in Washington. Right?
But no,
So-
but that's my point.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why
Yeah,
our conference pushed for series.
Yeah.
Because anyone can beat anyone in a one game scenario, and you can see this. Georgetown Prep is 7-5 right now, and they've played some really good teams,
Yeah.
and they beat us.
Well, they
And-
wanted
and-
to beat you.
yeah,
They
yeah,
save
yeah.
everybody to beat you guys,
But
right?
then, and so they turn around and they lose to Calvert Hall. But then Calvert Hall beats Goretti, and they beat St. John's. But
Yeah.
then they lose to DeMatha. You've got DeMatha, who has been able to knock off some good teams, and then they also lost to I think it was Bishop O'Connell
Yeah.
and Gonzaga.
But there's
and
not-
Gonzaga's a solid squad this year, and so is Bishop O'Connell. And so
But-
my only point is that with everyone having just not having a true dominant team right now, and that's why I'm saying I don't think you can really say that there's a true number one team in the state.
Oh, Calvert Hall is, and the Mata is number 2. Forget about it. And
Or
that's it.
DeMatha number 1 and Calvert Hall number
Or
2.
the Mata number
Yeah,
1,
but-
Calvert Hall number 2. But I like Calvert Hall better. You know, because they have a tougher schedule so far. Nothing against the Mata. The Mata needs to be the number 2 right now, and they need to go and
I watched
and
the
turn
whole game.
that.
They look pretty
And
solid.
that was
DeMatha.
really
They
good.
look
I mean,
pretty
they're
good.
playing really good baseball right now. They're actually fielding really good. They're clutch hitting right now, but they're advancing the runner. They're playing the baseball the right way. So I think the Calvert Hall and the Mata are there. Spalding, you know, it's
But that's
the
the thing.
tougher schedule on the whole freaking conference with
But then
St.
the other
John.
thing you have to look at-
Gonzaga also is playing really tough schedule. So
You've got John Carroll too, that's got
You
a
got
really
John
good
Carroll,
lineup,
but
and
those
they've got
are-
some good pitchers.
Calvert Hall, the Mata, and then you got Savannah Park that they are
You haven't
working
mentioned
that. That's pretty good.
you haven't mentioned Savannah Park or
Savannah
Decatur.
Park, Decatur is up there. I think that I don't know how good Sherwood's gonna be this year,
But you got Broadneck.
but you
who's
got Broadneck
really good.
that's pretty
You got
good.
Walter Johnson, who's really good out.
Chesapeake, I think that with the brothers there, it's gonna be really good also. So there
You
is a
guys
lot
are
of
just
schools
throwing
there.
out names. You're not putting out a list, dude.
No, I mean we need to. It's just we don't want to be disrespectful
I'm
to
calling you
anybody.
out, though. That's the whole point of this.
No,
is-
I already said the top 5 for me, but all top 5 are
Okay,
private
one more
schools.
time. Top 5 in order.
Okay, Calvert Hall, DeMatha, Spalding, and then I think that the number 1, the number 4 would be really tough to set. Maybe Savannah Park and John Carroll.
You know, no Goretti.
No, Goretti, no.
You got
no,
two
Goretti.
Virginia Tech
Goretti,
commits in your rotation.
Goretti
Tommy, your
is a-
top 5 really off
No,
the cuff.
go-
Boom. First 5 comes to your head.
I told you my first 5. That's it. Don't
Answer the question.
call them out. Let's go. No, all right. So that's all we got for tonight. Thank you for being with us on this episode number 14. Thank you, Tommy Ferro. Thank you, our producer, Matt Jagger. And I will see you next Friday for the last episode for this season, episode number 15 at 6:30. So don't miss it. Thank you. Tommy, we going to dance tonight? Are
No
we
dancing.
dancing? Let's go. Let's go,
dancing.
Papa. Let's go.
No dancing.
Amo. No.
No dancing.
No dancing?
No dancing.
They said that in Las Vegas last year. You didn't like. No?
Video.